43. Hello everyone and welcome to Wolff&Schafe podcast. My name is Magdalena and this is my little kitty co-host, the Marat. Ow! Can you see him? Yeah. So if you're a new viewer, welcome. Thank you so much for checking out my podcast. This is a knitting, spinning and hand dyeing podcast in little town of Adliswil, just near Zurich in the German spoken part of Switzerland. And I live here with my husband and our little son. If you're a returning viewer, yay, welcome back. Thanks so much for coming back. Yes, I'm delighted to have you all here, and thank you so much. Thank you. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram under my full name, which is Magdalena Wolff with double F. And if you enjoy my show, please subscribe to my channel on YouTube, because this way you won't miss any of my updates. And yeah, we have a Ravelry group, Wolff&Schafe podcast, on Ravelry, and there you can join our knit-alongs. We have currently one running knit-along, and there's a thread for asking me questions, which I can then reply to on the podcast. So I will start with showing the sweater again, and it's not like I just want to show it off. Well, I do, but it's not the only reason. It's been blocked and it's perfect now. As you can see, the sleeves got a bit longer, which I enjoy because honestly I like to do this and to keep my wrists warm. And I can't stand tall enough. But anyway, it got longer as I had hoped. So now it's perfect and I'm loving it, and I'm totally wearing this for Christmas or Christmas Eve. We will see. And the pattern was Flax by Tinka Knits, and the yarn I used was my hand-dyed yarn, Wolff&Schafe Romulus, in the willow colorway. So yay! Love my sweater, but probably I will have to again take it off because our flat is kind of warm. At my parents' place it's a bit cooler because they live in a house, so I think it might be really good for Christmas Eve. We will see. My works in progress. I have completed the heels for my husband's Princess Soul socks. As you can see, they look kind of funny because they roll on themselves. Yeah, this is the marker for where I was last week. And basically what I'm doing is I started at the toe with Judy's Magical Cast-On. I basically always use that method. And then I increased till I had 64 stitches. And yes, I've been purling all of the back stitches and knitting on the front stitches. And the heel, it was my first time doing the Fish Lips Kiss heel in the reverse, because I wanted also the heels to be as comfortable as possible for my prince. So yes, they are done. They are in reverse stockinette. I hope you can see it. Oh, shed more light so you can see the wonderful colors. and once I block them they will hopefully roll less, but it doesn't matter really as long as they serve their purpose. And I have finished the heels some 2 rows ago, but I decided to purl a couple of rows more because the construction of Fish Lips Kiss heel makes it the heel itself is not very tall, as you can tell. So I think just a couple of rows more, so that for example it doesn't suddenly rub on his upper part of the heel in his shoes and stuff like that. So yeah, still a bit of purling left, but then I switched to whole stockinette stitch all around. And my yarn again is Wolff&Schafe Twin in Pot Splits colorway, and I love this colorway, and I love this pooling effect. Because I'm using different stitches here, there are also different effects, like the pooling looks different on both sides, which is also interesting. And for my contrasting color that I used also for the heels, I hope it was visible because they are quite dark, is Jinx Yarn's Strong Sock, which is BFL nylon blend in Eternal Sonata colorway, and I'm planning on using this yarn also for the cuffs. So yay! I'm through the most difficult part, because once I start knit only, it will go much faster. So I'm hopeful, and I actually started thinking about knitting my dad also a pair of socks. I know I don't have that much time because I also want to complete another project for Christmas, but yeah, he doesn't have a pair yet, and he is also pretty sensitive, but I think with socks it should be okay. I'm thinking, because my mom is getting these socks for Christmas that I completed last week, but I was thinking that maybe I could give him like a coupon. If I'm halfway finished, it will be like, you will collect your socks once they're done, because I have a small present for my dad for Christmas, because it's always difficult to find him presents. He has everything. But yeah, because this year I thought I won't buy any really expensive presents because it feels somehow overwhelming. I don't know if you have the same feeling, but it's yeah, I feel like it's the gifts are starting to put the rest of the holiday in the shadow, like, if you know what I mean. It's like we don't see the Christmas anymore, we are only worried about the gifts. So I thought this year it will be either my hand knits, which are, well, kind of small objects, but a lot of my love and work went to it, or just some other things, meaning that I thought about the person, but not too expensive, also not to make them feel they should give me something really expensive. So I have something for my dad, but since my mom is getting her socks, I was like, oh, it would be so great if he got a pair too, because then they could be together at home during long winter evenings, nights, and sit together both in their hand knitted socks, and you know, this is my image there. I don't know if it works. Maybe. maybe I will see how my other projects go, and then I will decide. So, oh yeah, and I'm knitting on a Tao Goose 2.5 millimeters, which is US size 1.5 on very long cable that can accommodate 2 at a time socks, because that's how I usually knit my socks. Almost always, I'd say. So now, oh yeah, I wanted to remind you that we are having, yeah, it's also about this thing. It's my winter gift project for Gleb. This is for, not for Christmas, this is for his birthday, which is in January. So we're having a knit along, which is winter gifts knit along, and the deadline is January 16th. And you can join as long as you started your project around, I think, November. If you started in November, then it's okay. And it has to be something you're knitting for somebody else. It can be a Christmas gift or another occasion gift, whatever. And yeah, we have those 2 threads in our group, and one is for chatter, and you can post as many posts as you like, and for FOs you only post your FOs and that's it. I haven't announced the prize yet because I'm still thinking about it. I have at least half of the price decided upon, because, well, I think one half will be a skein of my yarn, but I still haven't decided what space, what color it will be. But for the other half, you will get this scrumptious skein of yarn, and this is from my own stash. This is not my yarn. I mean, I own it, but I haven't dyed it. It's by Fiber Spades Scrumptious Aran, and it is 45% silk and 55% merino, and it's 165 meters per 100 grams. In yards it's 180 yards, and the color is cherry. And just look at this. Oh my god, no wonder I bought this. It looks a bit more reddish on the camera, I'd say. It's more in the burgundy direction, I'd say. And why am I giving it away? That's the question. So as some of you know, I've been recently counting my stash, so I got a look at all my skeins. And I realized that this skein has been in my stash for quite a while, and I never found any project for it. I don't know, it didn't speak to me. I mean, the yarn is very soft. It's, as I said, it's 45% silk, and the color is very rich, but somehow I didn't decide on anything. So I thought I will, in order to make my stash circulate more, I'm gonna just pass it to someone else, and I'm sure they will be delighted because it's beautiful yarn. So I'm knitting socks for Gleb for his birthday, but this year I'm also knitting a Christmas pair of socks from this beautiful yarn. This is again Jinx Yarns, a strong sock in Naughty or Nice colorway. It's merino nylon blend, and it's a gradient self-striping. I had to wait a lot for this yarn because there was some problems with customs, but I finally got this. So I have this much. Last week I only have just started on the toes, but now look, just have a look, how awesome. And I love these like little spots that are brighter. And the toes are my handmade yarn, this yarn. It's on my paw, based Wolff&Schafe paw, on in All Saints Day colorway. So this is this natural wool color with some speckles. And I love how they look together. Really, really I do. And I'm knitting also on my second pair of... I'm blurry. On my second pair of Tiaogu 2.5 millimeters, and 2 at a time, as usual. And yeah, I'm having high hopes that I will succeed in wearing them for together with my sweater for the Christmas Eve, or at least for the opening of it, because if I get really hot I will have to at least take my sweater off. Yes, well, there is high chance that on Christmas Day we will be visiting some relatives that are known for having a really cold house, so maybe then we shall see. Some time ago, Valerie, hi Valerie, her full name is Valerie NG. I don't know really how to read it, I'm sorry. So she contacted me whether I would like to test knit a square for her new pattern, which is Brioche Memories blanket, or just Brioche Memories, but it is a blanket, and you basically knit like Cozy Memories blanket but with brioche stitch. And it was the opportunity for me to learn brioche, because I never have done anything in brioche. So she was, I wrote to her, well, maybe it's not for me because I have no experience with brioche, and she was delighted, and she said that's great because I wrote the pattern so that it would be clear even for people who are brioche newbies. And oh, excuse me. So this was actually my yarn calling out to me because it got ready. And I also took off the sweater because, whew. So where was I? Yes, the brioche memories. So I did knit my square. I messed up a bit during the process because I misunderstood some of the instructions, but in the end I got this squishy square. Whee! Yeah, the thing is, it's very squishy, and I knitted it from. I have some leftovers from my Mira sweater, so this is Malabrigo Makita in Sirena's colorway, and it's so beautiful. So this, my friends, is my first adventure with brioche, and yeah, it's one colored brioche, what's important, so it's easier to grasp at first, and this is my first step. And it wasn't too difficult. So once I got the hang of it, it was not too difficult. And yay, new experience, I learned something new. Valerie was very supportive. I mean, she answered all the questions that I had. So this pattern will be available in like soon, in a week or something, or maybe in a few days. So please check it out. I will I will put the name in the down bar here. And yeah, thank you, Valerie, for teaching me brioche technique. Awesome. But I have more knitting projects, to be honest. And so I have my Cozy Memories blanket. I was knitting on this square, and obviously I did not have enough squares in my life because I have started a new blanket. And it's not the brioche blanket because I really prefer my blankets to be mindless knitting, and with, you know, brioche you have to concentrate a bit. So I've started with this, and this is my hand-dyed yarn, Wolff&Schafe Romulus. Just like my sweater, it's the same base, so it's 100% superwash merino and worsted weight yarn, and the colorway is Rhine Gold. And these are actually leftovers from a hat that my grandma knitted for me for the festival from my yarn, so I could, you know, have like a sample project. And the idea occurred to me some time ago when I was watching Mina from the Knitting Expat podcast. Hi, Mina. And she had this brilliant, I mean, she just, you know, put it out there, and I realized, yeah, that's completely obvious and genius at the same time. So she said that, well, you know, you can always hold your yarn, like if let's start over. So when you have a lot of fingering weight yarns, leftovers, scraps and such, it's hard to fit them all into your irregular Cozy Memories blanket because it's thin, so you can knit really a lot of squares from what you have left from your projects. However, as Mina said, you can hold the yarn double and have approximately worsted weight from it and knit a thicker blanket. Ta-da! So this would be a project in which I could use both my worsted weight scraps and my fingering weight scraps. That's just an amazing idea. So I just started. And of course, since it's much thicker yarn, instead of knitting 46 stitches, I'm knitting 38, so it's 19. And yeah, I called it Puffy Memories blanket. And those of you who know Buffy the Vampire Slayer and go to my Ravelry profile to see this project's page will know what I mean with puffy. I mean it is puffy because it's thick and squishy, but I really wanted something connected to Buffy, and puffy just came to my mind. Whatever. So one square took me around 10 grams. I think 10 grams of yarn. So I think it's good. Let's compare the size to my Cozy Memories blanket, which sadly this week hasn't gained any squares. So yeah, here we have a square from my Memories blanket, and it is bigger. I mean, the puffy one is bigger. As you can see, but not that much bigger. I actually regretted casting on only 46 stitches because these squares are indeed quite small. But I started like that, so I have to follow that till those many years in which I will be knitting on my Cozy Memories blanket. But anyway, these will be slightly bigger and quicker to make. Yay, so I can, when I have leftovers from my from my fingering weight yarn, I can put them both into my cozy memories blanket and my puffy memories blanket. Yes. But I have also another new project. And I want to just see if, yeah, okay, I'm less blurry. Yes, I have a new project. Those of you who follow me on Instagram might have seen around last month that I made a swatch. And I was swatching to knit a cardigan for myself from fluff around me. This yarn. So I have cast this on yesterday, so it's really tiny. You can see it will be quite airy, but I'm loving it. However, I live in dread because there is it's not a pattern, it is a recipe. So it's called the Magic Custom Fit Raglan Sweater by Danielle White, and I really hope it will work, because you have to do a lot of calculations there, and I sometimes was doubtful whether I was proceeding correctly. And also it's for a sweater, meaning it's for a pullover, and there are some instructions for cardigans, but not that detailed. So I'm like, maybe it will work, maybe the things I'm thinking will be right, but I'm not sure. So I'm a bit stressed about it, but I so much wanted to try it because I really wanted a simple cardigan, like really simple, meaning plain stockinette, but I wanted to do it in 3 colors. And it was really hard to find a pattern in the same size that I would like, and also my swatch was so off from other cardigans, like in fingering weight, that I found that I was like, oh, meh. And then I found this recipe, and I decided to take a risk and yeah, use the recipe. So my idea is this simple cardigan with an applied collar plus a button band, and I hope it works. My colors are, oh yeah, I debated on the colors for the longest time. I tormented my husband asking him whether this looked better or this looked better, and he has no idea because he doesn't care for colors that much. As long as it's not pink or something he believes not manly. But anyway, in the end I chose these 3 colors. So the first one you've seen already is this beautiful icy blue, ever so slightly variegated or tonal, I would say. And the second one is this beautiful cake. I was just caking yesterday. I mean, the blue one I had caked already before because I was knitting the swatch. This one, oh my god, I mean, it looked beautiful in the skein, in the skein, but in the cake. Oh my god, look, you people. So you're wondering probably what yarn this is. And this is, some of you might have recognized, it's Wool and Vine yarns. It's on her narwhal base, which is, yeah, Wool and Vine yarns. Hi, Kristen. And it's narwhals, so it's superwash blue-faced Leicester, 70%, 20% silk, and 10% cashmere. And it's, I would say it's light fingering. And this colorway is Myth, and this colorway is I Am No Bird, which is her Jane Eyre inspired colorway, and I'm in love with both. And they do look lovely, but they wouldn't be enough. I mean, they look lovely together, but they wouldn't be enough for a sweater for me, for sure. So I have added this weird egg, and I will explain why it looks so later. But this fresh green is by Dream in Color, and it's everlasting sock, and it's 100% superwash Australian merino, and the colorway is Bitter. I just love it. I had it for quite a while in my stash, and I did not decide what to do with it. I just knew I want to use it for something because it's so beautiful. And now my plan is this, or more or less this. But I am not planning to knit stripes because I'm not a great fan of thin stripes. Actually, I'm planning something else, like different. So I'm planning that there will be a section on the top with this first colorway. Then there will be some stripes of uneven size entering the body. Then there will be a section of this color, Bitter, and then again uneven, like symmetrical to what's going on the top, but also not like even sizes of stripes, but getting bigger and smaller respectively, with I Am No Bird. Call me crazy, this is my idea. And I'm planning to repeat that also on the sleeves. So this part of the sleeve will be Myth, then some stripy thingy going on, green and stripy thingy, and I Am No Bird. That's my genius plan. I have so many crazy ideas for this project. So since this is fingering weight, and it's and this is more of a light fingering, well, at least I'm pretty sure this one is thicker. I'm thinking that this section I will just knit on smaller needles. The needles I've started are 3.5mm needles, which is US size 4. So this I will knit on 3mm needles. That's my plan. The needles I'm using are Hiya-Hiyas, but not sharp, just regular ones with this green lovely cord. And yeah, we will see. It's possible that I will rip everything back in rage because it will turn out that it doesn't fit my body, even though I measured everything just like in the recipe. But well, who knows? Who knows? And I'm drinking my rooibos vanilla. Well, it's not tea. well, if you call a kind of beverage tea, then it's tea, but it's not from tea plant, right? It's from rooibos. But I am in love with this, and to be honest, oh yeah, these are my cute snowmen on my mug that I'm using only when it's cold, so starting around November. And first time I drank this tea was actually in the hospital. When I was pregnant, my son decided to be born earlier, so I was before giving birth. I was a few days in the hospital, and then afterwards also there were some complications. But anyway, I spent in the hospital almost 2 weeks, and yeah, and there was this type of tea you could choose to drink, and it was just amazing. So just recently I found it in our local store, just our local supermarket, and I instantly bought it because oh yeah. And what I love about it is I don't have to worry when I want to drink it and it's already late. I don't have to worry because there is no caffeine or tea in it. So whenever I like, I can have it. Yeah, so finally this is all about knitting. Oh, except why it looks like that. So I had it in a skein form, and I started caking this yesterday with my regular wool winder and the Swift. But it turned out, as I said, I had it in my stash for quite a while, and I don't know what happened. It somehow got tangled. Or maybe it was tangled from the start, I don't know. But I simply couldn't use the Swift, the wool winder, I mean. And I just had to do everything by hand, and there's a business card inside, so that's why this weird egg shape. And since I'm planning on knitting the sleeves not 2 at a time, it's okay not to have the central pulled cake, but it's just a weird egg. So the end of knitting. Ta-da! Knitting. I have finished knitting. Now I start knitting. No, I start spinning segment. This is my cute mysterious fiber. And it's not a brand name. It's just mysterious because I don't know what it is. It's some kind of wool, but I don't know exactly. And I was showing the single last week, and I decided to try for the first time the Andean bracelet technique, which allows you, and you do it usually with small amounts of yarn, because with 100 grams you would have like your arm covered in a great tangle of yarn and it wouldn't be funny. So when you have, for example, if you double ply something and it usually turns out that you haven't divided your two portions of yarn evenly, there's something left that you would like to ply. You have, well, at least 2 options. One option is to Navajo ply it, because yeah, you can just ply it from end to end, no problem, and then you get 3-ply yarn. And the other option that I know of is the Andean bracelet, which results in a 2-ply yarn. And you take your spun yarn, yes, it's not still not plied, and you wrap it around your wrist in the specific way that then allows you to ply directly from your hand, from what's wrapped around your wrist, or mostly hand. And at first it was a bit difficult. Before I understood how it works, everything was getting a bit tangled. But once I got it, it was actually pretty convenient to work like that, like straight from my left hand. I was feeding the yarn to the spinning wheel. However, it does take some time to do the setup, meaning wrapping the yarn around your hand. So I think I will repeat this technique pretty soon, because I already have a new idea for it. And yes, this is 2-ply, 10 grams and 39 meters. And I've started on spinning. I won't show it because it's on the wheel and I would have to break the yarn. And, well, I could do that, but why do that if there's really not much to show you yet? So I will just show you again this gorgeous thing. It's again my Wolff&Schafe Fibers Fafnir's Heart colorway raw leg. And it's gorgeous. I just love this color. So it's a blend of merino, baby llama, tassel silk, mulberry silk, bamboo and angelina. And just let me say that I'm so, well, with spinning it's so much is up to you, meaning you have this fiber and you can create thicker yarn, thinner yarn, single, 2-ply, 3-ply, whatever you like. And I have a lot of these raw legs and I keep creating different things. You can even like spin them together with other color, what I also did. So it's fun, and I'm spinning this raw leg pretty thin, and I'm planning to do the Andean bracelet thingy again, because it's only around 8 grams of fiber, so it will be acceptable for this technique. Yeah, so this is my spinning. As for dyeing, as you know, I just had yarn ready, and I will see whether I can show this to you. So I have my yarn here. It's honestly still wet, but I hope you can see how it looks like. This is a new colorway. Oh, come on. Can you focus? Focus. Yes, so this is a new colorway that I dyed just today, and I'm not dyeing much these days, as I said before, because I still have a lot of yarn pile up after the festival. I over prepared because, you know, I did not know how much I would need. So I really wanted to be prepared for anything. And yeah, so it's this pale pink with a lot of mauve going on with some speckles here and there. And yeah, I like it. I do. And actually, while dyeing this yarn, I was thinking about a particular person. I wonder if she guesses. No, I think I will tell her before she even watches. But I think it should be something she would like. I hope. So yeah, this is my new colorway, and it is on my belladonna base, which is my fingering weight merino nylon cashmere blend. And I'm pretty excited because, you know, it's I do have this yarn still like in my stash, but creating new colors or even dyeing existing colorways is just so You know, it feels so right and so good that I need to do that. Even though technically I don't need to right now, but yeah, it just makes me happy. So why not? Because I still have some undyed yarns left, so I can use them. Like you do. And oh yeah, I would like to remind you that we still have the Winter Knits 2016 coupon code, which allows you to do your purchase in my Etsy shop with 15% discount. Yay! And yes, and it's valid till July, basically, till I leave for Christmas, which will be on December 22nd. So I'm closing the shop on December 21st. And then I will reopen it once I'm back in January. So yes. And oh yeah, more info about my yarns, my yarn bases, my regular colorways you can find on my webpage, which is www.wolffiowce.com. And what else? I think this is it for crafting. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. And my last segment is left, which is life. Am I blurry or not? It's an obsession, you guys, because I do it manually because it works the best this way. But my screen on which I'm seeing myself is much smaller than the computer screen. So I don't know. Anyway. Last week was a bit hard because we got sick. Basically, most of the Friday, Gleb and I spent in bed. Luckily, Stasia was at daycare, so we could just sleep and rest because we were really not feeling well. Gleb was worse with his cold, but I was better with the cold, but I also had some stomach aches, mysterious ones. I don't know. It's okay now, but I really did not feel well, so I was just, yeah, the whole day sleeping mostly. And because we had this like really relaxed time and feeling not really well, we took the opportunity to just watch a movie together, and we watched Grand Budapest Hotel. Please let me know if you know this movie, because I absolutely loved it. It is extremely weird. It is weird, but I was loving almost every moment of it. Except maybe for one scene, but no matter. It was so perfect, and the main character is played by the actor who played Lord Voldemort in the Harry Potter series, and I was the whole movie, I was like, where do I know that guy from? But you know, it's misleading when Voldemort not only has the nose, but also a mustache. But he was brilliant. He really was brilliant. And you get also Adrian Brody, who plays the big bad of the movie. But he's so pretty. Oh my god. And I didn't recognize him either, because I knew nothing about the movie before I started watching. So I didn't know he is there in the movie. So since he's wearing a beard, I did not realize it's him. I checked afterwards and I was, oh yes! So, and there you get Bill Murray in a smaller role, and yeah, many famous actors actually. So I highly recommend it as long as you're okay with the weirdness. But I think all the visual side of the movie is so... I was just so entertained, and I loved how the camera worked and the expressions of the faces of the actors. It was just, yeah, it was, everything was not really exactly serious, but at the same time it was, because there were serious things going on. So yeah, I highly recommend the movie, and it's something of a commedia slash drama slash mystery story, if you like. And yeah, I think this is all for this week. Thank you so much for watching, for spending some time with me and me. And yes, I think I will have one more episode before I go to Poland. So next week there should be, I think, the last episode in 2016, because I won't be recording podcasts in Poland, because I won't be taking my huge heavy camera with me. Possibly also not computer as well. So I'm hoping to post some vlogs. I know many of podcasters are doing vlogmas, and they are awesome and amazing, but I knew from the start it's not possible for me. It's just too much. There are days when it's completely impossible for me to just sit down and edit stuff and whatnot. So I just enjoy other people's vlogmas, and that's it. But I'm hoping to post some vlogs just so that you don't forget about me. So thank you again. Have a lovely week, and we will see you next time. Bye!